Are you struggling to take your ranks to the next level in FUT Champs? Today, we are going to break down some key features that you could bring into your game to elevate it to that next level and in turn get better rewards in FUT Champs, even though they do suck a little bit. Let's jump into it. So in this clip, we're just going to let it play out. And I just want you to pay attention to what we do with the ball, the lack of sprinting and just the time to kind of break the opponent down and then the drive into the 18-yard box. Now, this is an area where a lot of people kind of get it wrong in a sense because they try to rush their way into that 18-yard box by sprinting. Now, sprinting in the middle of the park is kind of one of the most dangerous things to do because you will always end up losing the ball. So I just do a little L2, square, and X to get that little like fake, it's like a fake heel to heel almost. It's a quite nice little skill move to effectively move the ball. And then the opponent dives in. Because he dives in here now, we open up that lane into the Higuain. Now, when we get the ball into the Higuain, you can see I immediately pick the ball up. I realise Arnautovic is about to go offside. You know, he's going to run in behind. And if I try and step into here, I'm just going to get clamped by both of these players. So this is now where I decide to turn away, use a little bit of a skill move to just get that space, some step overs and break away. And now I'm looking to see my options. I decide to go into Gozens because Arnautovic is getting back onside. And then that first time pass in release, keeping the ball moving quick. I'm not dilly-dallying with it. I'm not like trying to sprint my way through, but I'm using the ball to make the opponent work, to constantly keep player switching and keep moving. Then when I get it into here, it's about how can I beat this man? How can I take him on? This is a 50-50, right? I could possibly look to lay the ball back off and then work it through, but I'm realizing I've actually got a bit of space in behind here. I'm either going to get this right or I'm going to get it wrong. And it's about trying to get it right more times than you get it wrong. And I take the opponent on again with a little bit of a shimmy with that step over and then driving through. Realistically, I probably should have sweated this one off across. But in the heat of the moment, I'd already decided once I was taking him on, I'm going to be hitting this across body, across goal, and then just getting that clinical finish. So just to play it in one more time for you so you can see it exactly how it all works and the thought process in that attack, taking on that opponent and grabbing that goal. So the opponent is going to get an opportunity to counter-attack here and look for that through ball in behind. The dreaded through balls that we all fear. It's something that a lot of people really struggle to get right in FUT Champs. Now, what we have to identify here is as soon as he picks the ball up with a Adama Traore, my closest player, you can't even see him, he's just above my camera here. He's off screen. He's nowhere near. Adama Traore has got so much room and space. What I immediately spot is this. This runner starts to go, but you can see how I've highlighted here the arm out. When a player puts their arm out in behind, he's saying, I'm going on a run, look to pass me. That means that this individual player, the person I'm playing against, has triggered L1, LB on Xbox, for this player to make a run in behind. You need to be aware of that. So I immediately switched to Thiago Silva. And if you look now, this is where I start to give him a head start. I sprint back ever so slightly. I then switch to the Alaba just to see if I might be able to, you know, get a little bit closer to him. But I'm like, no, let's make sure that this Thiago Silva has got that advantage. So I sprint. By this point, I've let go of jockey. One of my bad habits that I have is I can be jockeying here when you just need to have a foot race with this attacker. I start to engage with second man press. This is where you hold R1 on PlayStation, RB on Xbox. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring this player to the ball holder. They're going to press the ball holder. You'll have a little green icon above your player's head and they will press for 4 seconds. Now, I'm covering 2 positions. I'm getting ready for the through ball and I'm also applying pressure. But what it also means is that if he doesn't go for the through ball, at least Alaba is a little bit more engaged and he's more in the face of the opponent. I then switched off just to see if I could bring Medel back in case he wanted to look for that pass over to Arnautovic. But he chooses to go for that ball in behind. Thiago Silva in the right position, in the right place, easy enough to defend. Through balls, you have to make sure that you spot the threat, that you cover the ball, but that you also apply some pressure onto the ball holder if the opportunity arises. If you want to elevate your FIFA game and take it to that next level, you can get one-to-one coaching, squad reviews, and access to multiple videos to help you get better at FIFA. You can join our Patreon page starting from £4 per month A link is in the description. Sometimes you need to look to try and attack a little bit quicker yourself to penetrate over the top instead of trying to build up slow and only then looking to find your way into the 18-yard box via that. The ball comes out here to this right wing, and I pick the ball up with Ji-Sung Park. I'm going to lay the ball in the middle. As I lay this ball into the middle, there's one key factor that I do here, and it's right... Just going to get the pause right for you. There. So, I am now facing with Medel towards Arnautovic. I've tapped L1. This is to ensure that Arnautovic is going to keep making this run. Again, look at the arms out symbol. He's got his arm out. He's saying, play me in behind. Arnautovic may make this run by himself. You're Cristiano Ronaldo, you're Mbappe, whoever it is, they may make this run by themselves. But if you trigger that L1, you're telling him, get on that run, your own accord. So he won't stop this run. He will keep going. Now, instead of building up and going into here, then into there, I am seeing, can I go for this? The opponent doesn't switch. He doesn't get on that. So I then go for that over-the-top through ball in behind. Just go for the shot first time. Now, you know, that's a gamble of a shot. It's not always going to go in. There, it was saved from the opponent. We use the L1, R1 through ball here. By the way, L1, R1 triangle. Works really, really effectively. This, I'm looking at this and going, I can try and bring this down, but Higuain's not really, you know, ready to receive the ball yet. Arnautovic can't really dribble. Take a gamble. Sometimes you can just take these shots and it may go in, but also, if it doesn't go in, that's not a problem. We might be able to get a corner from it. We might be able to test a goalkeeper. And that in itself is a massive thing when you can do that. You don't always have to try and work these perfect scenarios. And from this, we move the ball around and you're about to see an absolute crazy goal from Arnautovic. I switch the ball over. Now, for me, one of my biggest things that I talk about is that if you are going to lose the ball, you want to lose it when it's a dead ball situation. A goal kick, an offside, a throw-in, a free kick, a goal. Whatever you do, try to limit the amount of times that you lose the ball in open play for yourself to be hit on the counter. So I'm looking at this here with Arnautovic and just thinking, I've got time, I've got space. He's keeping on with that Grealish. You know, he's not coming and putting pressure on me. You know, there's no second man press here. I try audacious stuff as a player. That's something that I like to go for. So I go for the L1, R1, shoot, the power shot. I've lined it up now. I'm aiming directly on goal. And then Arnautovic is just going to hit that on the half volley and bang. I'm thinking that, as I get a little clip in, I'm thinking that now. This is what I'm thinking because I realise I've got space, I've got time. I'm just going to hit this. Even if that doesn't go in and it goes over, that's fine. I'm now not going to hit on the counter attack. And that is something that in FUT Champs is so huge to try and avoid as often as you can. There is going to be times where you make a mistake or you don't defend right and the opponent gets in on goal. And this is where you have one last resort available to you, and that is goalkeeper movement. So I make a bit of a mistake here. The opponent gets through way too easily. I wasn't on that lane with Thiago Silva. And by this point, Arnautovic is through. Now, once he gets here, all I'm thinking about with Alaba is trying to get into the lane to block the shot. But Arnautovic is quick. I haven't really got the angle. So now I press the right analog stick in and then I push it where I want Pope to move. I am now controlling Pope. One of the things that I do is I move the goalkeeper back slightly. Although it makes the angle better for the opponent, it confuses the opponent at the same time. So you can see how Pope starts running back. And then all I've done is I've pushed him backwards and moved him up slightly. So the opponent thinks, oh, he's going to move that one all the way over there. And he's going to go for that, you know, the goalkeeper movement across body. Because that's what makes sense. So he shoots at the near post. But I didn't do that. I didn't really move him anywhere. So Pope gets that save in. Goalkeeper movement is a skill in itself. Whether it should be in the game or not, you know, is a different story. However, it works very effectively when you can master it. So if all else fails and you've got nothing else on, make sure that you just try getting some goalkeeper movement in, trying to think about where the opponent's going to go, moving your goalkeeper there, and then maybe in the next chance that they have, don't move the goalkeeper at all, because then they might go for the near post shot instead. So one of the areas where you can really excel in the attack is using creative runs. Creative runs is where you tap L1 to trigger a player on a run, but then you flick the right analog stick shortly after to change their angle of the run. Now watch out here. You're going to see the green lines come down from Ji-Sung Park as he changes his run. and as he gets into that area. Now, why is this so crucial? Why is this so key? Well, as I get the ball into here to Arnautovic, I obviously want Ji-sung Park to attack some space to give me some movement. So I tap the L1 button now. You can just see that there. I'm pointing the left analog stick towards Ji-sung Park. I tap L1. On Xbox, LB. He puts his arm out. Remember that arm out that we said? He's going to then run in behind, but he's going to make his run like that. That's good if I want to cross the ball, but what about if I want to get into a shooting position, a more dangerous position? I'm going to flick the right analog stick, as you can see here, in that about 8 o'clock position. And now he makes that run like so. You can see the green line coming through, and that is to say he's making that run. To turn that on, you do need to go into the FIFA trainer. There'll be something called directed creative runs. Make sure that's on show, and then the FIFA trainer will show that in Division Rivals and in Champs for you. He then makes that run, and that's not enough. Look at how he's covering this. He's aware of that. So what now do I have to do? I have to divert his attention elsewhere. So now I'm going to pass the ball into Grealish, and then the opponent's going to think, okay, that run's probably more than likely done. So I pass the ball into there. What does he do? He switches back to this man, and he's probably thinking, yeah, I've got this covered. The little L1, R1 triangle, first time, over the top. He goes for the goalkeeper movement. I get a little bit bailed because I'm not aiming exactly at that near post. I get aim more center. But it's a lovely, well-worked goal. And it's something that if you can add creative runs or the player lock into your game, it can help you so much in attack. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click this next video so you can go and find out the best custom tactics to use on FIFA 23 right now.